G'day everyone, welcome back to Billabong High School. I'm here with Miss Nim, our Deputy Principal, and we'd like to just give you a quick update and a bit of an overview as to where we're up to in our transition to online learning. So in line with the directions of the Prime Minister and the New South Wales Premier and the Department of Education, as of today, about 70% of our staff are working from home. But Billabong High School is very much still open though. We'll maintain an appropriate level of on-site staffing so that we can deliver the educational outcomes that we need to for our community. For now, the Deputy Principal and the Principal will work from site here, and we'll continue leading teaching and learning and leading the daily operations of the school. The front office is open and we'll have admin staff here to answer phone calls, to manage the school and to direct inquiries to where they need to go. But all other teaching staff, for the most part, will be teaching from home, and they'll be coming into school maybe one day a week to access the school resources and to check in with each other and have meetings and things like that. So in terms of the overall transition to online learning, about 90% of our students are logged in online and are checking in with teachers and accessing online learning. And that's just a fantastic achievement for our school community. So I thank everyone who's been part of that. Obviously though, for a variety of reasons, we have about 10% of people who require further support, and that's understandable. Could be location, could be technical issues, all sorts of reasons. And now we're actually focusing on those 10%. Okay. So this week we're continuing our contact of parents, and we're individually calling people and checking what their specific requirements are, and we're going to do our best to access either through government channels or through school funding support to make sure that every single student in the school is accessing online learning. But we need to understand that's going to take a little while. So we're in a transition period, and I guess if you had to draw a timeline, I'm happy to say that roughly the transition period we might consider this week and next week to be that ongoing transition. Then we have our holiday break, and then hopefully we're all set to go in a very strong position by day one of term 2. So just keep that in mind. One thing we're not trying to do at all during this time is apply any sort of unnecessary pressure to people. We want to maintain those high expectations, but also be completely understanding that there's a lot of complexity out there at the moment, a lot of stress, and we want to make sure that we're supporting people to achieve their learning outcomes. So think of that 2-week time frame. We've got about another week and a half. We can do a lot in a week and a half, and I'm very confident that we'll have very close to 100% of our students online and ready to learn in that platform from day one of term 2. Okay, in the meantime, if a household or a family or a student are not able to access the internet, then we do have the option of thumb drives. So a thumb drive, basically, you've got your work on a thumb drive, and you can go home and at least you've got some work to access during this transition period. So if you think you need a thumb drive, you require that work, then please call the school, call the front office, or email the school. Oh, sorry, you're probably not emailing the school if you don't have internet access, but certainly call the school and arrange a time to come into the school, and we'll have that thumb drive ready for you. Remember too, although we're very confident that most of our students now have devices and laptops, if you're still requiring that, or you think you know someone who still requires that or who could use that support, there's the bell. Please call the school, and we are still open, the bell's still going. Call the school or let those people know so they can call the school and still access those resources if they require it. And that also extends to if you've got multiple children in your family and they might go to primary school and there's competition for access to computers, we can help support that. Okay, so please give us a call and we'll see what we can do for you. Okay, if you do need to come into the school, again, we are still open in the front office there. If you do need to come into the school to access a thumb drive or a device, then Obviously, we've got social distancing measures in place. I'll just ask Miss Nim, what would you ask parents to do if they do come to school in that situation?
So we'd be asking parents to please use the hand sanitizer that's at the front door before you come to school and also after you leave school. There's a little table right at the front where you can just use the hand sanitizer. We'd also be asking you to adhere to we put some tape on the ground that's 1.5 meters away from the front office. So if you could stand there and be mindful of your distance, the ladies in the front office will be able to assist you.
Okay, so obviously 4 weeks ago we might have thought those measures were a bit peculiar, but as we know in our society at the moment, there's all sorts of things happening and all sorts of measures being taken, and we'll certainly will comply with them. We'll expect any visitor to Billabong to comply with those. So thanks very much, Miss Nim. Look, overall, we're very happy with the transition to online learning at the school. As I said, there are still some individuals that we will be supporting, but overall as a school, to be at this early stage, to have about 90% of students and certainly 100% of staff online and ready to go is a great achievement for our community, and it bodes well for what we can achieve in the next few weeks and in the coming term. But for now, please, it's not a time to stress about things. There will not be undue expectation in the next couple of weeks for certain, and even next term we'll be looking at how we build back up to increasing that expectation to the level that we want, but we'll certainly be giving people a lot of time to adapt and to manage that, and in the meantime we'll be very flexible about things. So look, for now there's that timeline. We've got a week and a half more of transition and then heading into a break. We thank everyone for their support and their assistance in